The PBA does not know what to do. Jason Belmonte is running scared. Why watch another video of him or professionals like him showing their elite skills when you can watch me suck at bowling?
Hello and welcome to the second game for the month of November 2024's edition of Watch Me Suck at Bowling from Gardner Ten Pins in Gardner, Massachusetts. We've been given the end lane, and fortunately for copyright reasons as shown in the photograph, for some reason the large video wall is not showing any computer graphics, but the important thing is not showing any copyrighted movies or telecasts. That makes editing a little bit easier and faster. Anyway, the first game, it started out kind of good, then it fell apart like it typically does when it's a first 10-pin game. Sometimes even the second, but that's rare. Usually we're in form at that point. So first game, in spite of the rough go, it got better at the end, and we wound up with a 118. My average skill in this is roughly 110, so definitely within my average ability. Still kind of a crappy game in terms of 10-pin as a whole. And my best is meh at best in terms of, again, those that actually play the game often and do well. Not talking pros, just talking fun leagues. So, time for the second game. Are we going to do better? Are we going to do worse? Are we going to do better but maintain the average, or maybe go a little higher? Well, only way to find out is to watch. So let's get going.
Game 2, frame number 1.
Of course, there's loud music, so the only audio you will hear is pinfall. There she goes. It's looking pretty good, and we get a
Ball 2.
Well, we didn't start off with a strike like we did in the first game. Can we get the spare? There she goes, and the answer is yes. And for those of you who like the pin setters, here's the AMF setting down a fresh set of 10. And there you go.
Frame 2, ball 1, El Stinko.
What will the bonus be? Let's find out. There's the windup, the pitch. It's looking pretty good, and strike. So far, we're off to a pretty good start. We didn't get the strike like we did in Game 1, but a spare will do. And then we get the strike, but in the second frame. So far, we are at 30 with 2 El Stinko the bonus balls to come.
Frame 3, ball 1, 2 El Stinkos.
What will they add up to? Let's find out. There she goes. It's looking pretty good again. And 2 in a row. Can we get the turkey? We have done that before. In fact, a few times.
Frame 4, ball 1, 2 more El Stinkos.
What will these 2 add up to? Plus still finishing off another. There's the pitch. It's way off to the right. And it's a 7, 8, 9. Well, that's dumb luck. Are we just off to a really good start and things are just going to fall apart like it usually does? Or do we have a serious threat to the high single? Anyway, we got another pair of strikes, making a turkey, still filling in frame 3 as well. We are at 80, with 2 more El Stinko the bonus balls yet to come.
Frame 5, ball 1, more El Stinkos.
What are they going to add up this time? Including those again further back. There it goes. Oh, wow. And there you go.
El Stinko 2.
At least a spare is still possible, keeping the string of marks alive. There it goes, off to the right, and the string of marks comes to an end. We got a 9.
Frame 6x1.
Things may be back to normal. At least we had a strong go. There's the ball, it's off to the right, and we got the dinner bucket.
Ball 2.
About 75% of lane will get us something. A dead-on hit, the whole thing. There she goes, it's looking pretty good, and finally, we're back getting marks again. We had a little hiccup there. Once again, trying to threaten the high single, and we are knocking on its door. We had the lousy 9 in 5, courtesy of the gutter ball. And we got a spare in 6. We are now at 108 with El Stinko the bonus ball.
Frame 7x1, El Stinko.
What will the bonus be? Can we get things back on track? Make 169 a memory. There she goes. It's a bit off to the right. And yikes. That's only 5.
Ball 2.
Can we pick up the other 5? Relatively should be somewhat easy. There she goes. It's looking pretty good. And no, we get the 9 instead.
Frame 8x1.
Although this is a pretty good game in my standards, we need to do better to threaten that record. There it goes, a bit off to the left, and that's gonna help. But will it be enough? We're gonna need to mark a couple more times to threaten that single. Can we do it? Can we get another string of marks? Anyway, we got the 9 in 7, which was kind of ugly. First ball knocking down 5, making the spare fill. But then we got the strike in 8. So far, we are at 132 with El Stinko, the bonus balls yet to come.
Frame 9x1, 2 El Stinkos.
We need at least one more mark with a decent fill, and we could do it. There she goes. It's a bit off to the right, and 9. Make that a strike. 2 in a row.
Last frame ball 1, 2 El Stinkos, 1 for the previous.
If my math serves me correctly, a 9 fill will tie the high single. There she goes. It looks good, and we get a turkey. And a new high single. How high can we take it?
El Stinko 1.
Once again, overtime to fill in the mark for the final frame. There she goes. It's way off to the right, and we get 6 so far.
El Stinko 2.
Well, let's see if we can get the 4 extra points. Wind up. The pitch, looking pretty good, and mission accomplished. For the first time in so many years, we finally bowled what could be considered a respectable game. And there definitely were places where things could have been better, like that 5 fill and the 6 fill. But other than that, it went quite well. Anyway, to finish up the board here, we got a strike in 9 and again in 10. Then getting 6 on the first ball and then clearing out for the second for the 6 and 10 fills respectively. So if those, again, that 6 and 5 fill, we could have broken into the 200s. But, as Gardner Ten Pin goes, not a pin more than what we would like. But still, I'm definitely not going to frown at getting a 198. Probably not going to see a number like that in a long time. In fact, when we usually break a high single, there's usually a disastrous game right after. So are we going to break the high triple, or are things going to really fall apart like they usually do after that rare moment of breaking a single? And that's game 2 of 4 for the month of November 2024's edition of, this time, not watching me suck at bowling, for the most part. At Gardner Ten Pins, Gardner, Massachusetts. This is Georgia 551 saying hope you enjoyed and have a good one.